All right, so this is the Veiled Nanostorm Blues, episode 2. Shane, why don't you tell us about your beliefs?
Uh, so right now I have one, which is the beauty found in destruction without care for consequences, something I must instill in Q. Um, and then I prize my freedom and my arrangement with our benefactor gives me that. I must keep Ayush out of the hands of our enemies. But I'm open to making that a little more specific if people have ideas. And then I'm still working on a third.
Do you want me to reiterate mine now that we're live?
I
Go
was
for
going
it.
to say, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. The information that Ayush has is more important than him. Information and technology will lead to true happiness, and Rebecca is ultimately the only being that matters to me.
I mean, that's interesting, too, because you were the one that posed that earlier you had said that the person in the alleyway was the one that was, like, stripped and nobody cared and everything. And you're like, but technology, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this cybernetic skeleton's all like, ah.
Yeah. So,
Cool. Does anyone else have beliefs or want help from other people to clarify beliefs for them or anything like that?
I was like frantically typing on mute. I mean, I can always use help. I usually wax them down, and then I'm like, please, I don't know what I'm doing. So, I like one about myself. I kind of like being, I am a superior being to my colleagues. For my emotional state is like powerfulness.
It's not when you punch people, right?
Yeah, I'm sure I could spin it in a way where I feel superior. Oh, yeah, and then a second one is Imani is a friend to be trusted and only wants the best for me, which I think will be interesting with Imani's other belief. And then a third one is Ayush appreciates and respects me and must be protected at all costs.
Nice. I like how this. See, this is why you do beliefs in your games, kids.
I would agree with that. Where is the character sheet for Q?
The top one. It's just
I
We don't
tricked
see
you
it.
because I put my name there first.
yeah, it says Lauren first.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see
you don't see
Alex,
it?
I see Arthur, I see Imani.
Oh,
That is so odd.
Is
oh,
there a way
that's why.
that it
There
is
we
public or
Here you
something like
go.
that? Ah, there we
Yeah.
go.
It's
Okay.
because it
Awesome.
was just in Lauren's journal. She was hoarding it.
I'm
Aha,
sorry.
hoarder. Ah, damn it.
Alex, do you need help with your beliefs?
I might do. I'm always terrible at these.
Sure.
I think the first one would be about Lush. Something like, I need to regain face. Like I failed my mission by letting him be captured. So I've got
Okay.
to save him at all costs.
Okay.
Next one I wanted to go about like humanity and like good and evil. So thinking something like there are humans that aren't worth helping. Like aren't worth saving.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, also for the first one, the belief at the root of that might be like um something about like saving face isn't, I'm not sure, is like a belief. It's something actionable, which is really good for this one, but the belief behind it is like more about how other people perceive you or your perception of yourself.
More about my perception
like
of myself.
okay, so it's for you that you're like saving this person and gaining face or whatever, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's like it's about like never failing, basically, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Interesting. Does anyone else have a conflicting belief to that one? Because that would be neat, and then you could just use it to point at each other.
What was the last one?
The second one that she said, or
I will just look at your sheet.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, it's not even on there. Never mind.
What's the belief, Alex?
That's the one about like never failing / regaining face by saving Lush. And then there's one about humans not worth helping.
I think
Hmm.
I'm the only one who actually doesn't care about Ayush that much and just wants the information out of him. So I think that's where the conflict will be.
Yeah. Yeah. For the first one, I would try to distill it into something that could be your long-term one that you could grind on, right? Like never failing. It could even be something about like you reject cybernetics the way like everybody else can get them. So maybe it's something about like trying to prove yourself when you're sort of the person who is like othered because of that, right? And you have like your throat action to prove of that. So,
Oh, right. I like it.
yeah. So yeah, like despite not being augmented traditionally, you can outperform other people. You don't need augmentations to be the best, that kind of thing.
Apart from me, I'm superior to
Apart from me, yeah. That'll be interesting. And then the second one was what again? Sorry?
That was about like humans aren't worth helping, or there are humans that aren't worth helping. Like, where's the line between deserves to live and deserves to die?
Okay. Well, I think I think that is an actionable thing that's good. Just not everybody deserves to live is fine, right? That I think that will be tested pretty naturally as you go throughout. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully we'll meet some decent humans.
Well, I'll definitely be probably partially in that camp with my like faith thing of wanting to just burn everything down.
Cool. And then you can leave the third one open if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. You can just slot it in when needed. I think everything else is good to go then, right? Everyone's marking down obligations that they have on one another. That's a good way to exercise your beliefs in this game. PS is calling in favors on people for things that are opposing in their beliefs. It's a good bit of fuckery to do. Okay.
I think my obligations have disappeared.
Like they're deleted?
Yeah, I think I had internet issues last time, and so they weren't saved properly.
Uh-oh.
So many people would tell me what our relationships were again.
Oh, okay. Do you have the sheet open? I can open. Let's see. Catalyst. So, if you've convinced someone else of your ideology and they believe it is to their benefit, you have one obligation on them. People remember.
That was Q.
Okay, well, there you go. So you have one on them. If someone else helped you develop your Omni tool with or for you, they have one obligation on you.
And that was Arthur.
Okay. And if you have repaired someone's cybernetics when they didn't have the means to do so themselves, you have one obligation on them.
I think this was Q again.
Was it? I thought it was Imani.
Which one was that?
If they have repaired someone's cybernetics when they didn't have the means to do so themselves.
That's totally possible. That would have been me.
Remember? Lauren, do you remember?
Sweet ass.
I thought it was Imani.
I thought it was Imani.
Yeah, I thought so.
I just remember I had 2 on Q. And then 1 each for everyone else.
That may have come from my questions.
Yeah, because it could go either way with their questions.
So I think, let me pull them up.
Here are my questions. Or
Yeah, if anyone remembers a specific question that they had that was in the affirmative for Abril.
Well, I mean,
do that up.
I have. Well, what do you mean by in the affirmative? Like from
One,
her?
Yeah, one that would give her one on you, right? Because she would need to mark that down.
Oh, right. I see. Sweet ass.
Yeah. And some of them might be reciprocal, right? Like you get one on each of each other. So.
I'm not.
Yeah, Alex.
I think most of these are Imani, the ones I have for mine, at least. I don't remember if April had any of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if April had any of mine. I remember.
There was one, I think there was helped comfort.
Oh, okay, then that might have been
I lost
me
my
then.
face. Yeah, that was one hold on me.
That was me. And it was both directions. If you've used the flow to take solace or comfort in one another in a time of need for you both. Oh, no, sorry. If you use the flow to comfort someone through a difficult life event, you have one obligation on them. That's me. Yeah, that was me on you when you lost your face. That's right.
I was an idiot, and I wrote down, if someone taught you to blend in or stand out, they have an obligation on you, but I omitted to write down who that was.
What was if you did what?
The person who taught me how to blend in or stand out. I think
that was me.
Imani.
Yeah, that was Imani, yeah.
Awesome. And then Alex, I think you were someone who you helped build or modify me since I was discovered.
Oh yeah, it was like help prepare you when you were discovered.
Yeah, so you have one obligation on me.
How humans are trash.
Yeah. So you have one obligation on me as well.
Sweet ass.
Okay, so does everybody have their stuff? Yeah. Cool. I think after this one, maybe I'll go back and re-listen and then make a relationship map. So then we know exactly what's going on. I'll just point where it's headed and like a little brief description of each one, and then we can just check it out later. Tons of obligations / gear going on. Cool. Okay, so when we left off, I'll remind people. Let's see. So Q had just ineffectually punched in a class. I was like, "What weapon are you using?" She's like, "A weapon. I don't have a weapon." And you found out that it was probably armored because you didn't do too much damage. It like pissed it off, and then it kind of let out a bellow, and some anger was happening there. Right before that, Imani had been sent back into the crowd, taking a bolt, kinetic burst, I think. And Abril had just rounded the corner, and Arthur had just spotted everything that was going on. And then we had cut, I believe. Is that correct? With everyone else's memory? Yeah. Cool. And I had one miss to spend still, which I wrote down. So I think what happens is, Abril, you dash around the corner, you see Imani sprawled on the floor, you see the iconoclast yelling at Q for punching it in the face. And just then you feel like a warm air current like bombarding down on you, just as you look up and you see a spinner, which is a flying car from Blade Runner. It's as exactly as you would think. Picture like a 80s town Cadillac with suicide doors, all black, except it has like repulsor things on the bottom that allow it to fly because future technology, that's how it works. But you think there's like a sandstorm starting at once at first because the ground kind of like whips into a flurry as like it is getting bombarded just as you are, and I think it's over the same rooftop as Arthur is as well. So it's as long as like it's quite long, so that both Arthur and Abril feel this lift, and you can bet that it is sort of like positioning itself into position, or getting into position as to shield you guys from the iconoclast, so you can kind of surmise that it's working with it in some way in tandem. Ugh, words are hard today, apparently. It's positioning the position of itself in positioning. But yeah, so you feel this draft hit you. You look up, you see the car. What are each of you guys going to do about this situation? In, we'll say, like moments, it moves into a position so that if you were to aim a shot at it, it would strike the vehicle instead of the iconoclast. So what you doing?
So how mobile am I? I mean, I got knocked onto my ass and took 2 harm.
Yeah.
I don't know what
2 harm isn't too bad. It's like taking like a bat to the side, like you're a little, it ain't good, but you're not like crippled or anything.
Okay. Let's see. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. So we'll start with Amani, and then we'll work our way through the table, and then we'll execute them.
All right.
Maybe you could suck up some of its rage. Get mad.
It mad?
Yeah.
I get the sense that it is mad.
Yeah, or it just likes to scream, I guess. Maybe it's joyfully screaming at you.
So that'd be absorb, I guess.
Yeah,
Just gonna
well,
use
you don't have to do that, but
Gotcha. I'm trying to think on the flip side. Yeah, I kind of like going the other direction.
Sure.
Oh, but I can do harm.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's area close. Something tells me I'm probably not close to the guy at the moment.
You're probably close. Like, if you can aim your gun at them and get a shot off, you're close.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
we forgot beginning of session moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that because we didn't do it last time, actually. So
Correct.
Everybody think about what they're doing, but then if you have like a beginning of session move, let's do that first. So Arthur, do it up. And
hunger.
you start with 1 hunger and then don't add the second one for this one. There's like been barely anything happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't think Rebecca like super hungry since the last time.
All right.
How would I know if I have a beginning of session move?
Let's see. You are the
Empath.
And I rolled a 4.
No, it doesn't look like you do.
Okay.
Nope.
I rolled a 4 for hunger.
4 for hunger. So what does it say? Nothing?
Nothing.
Attached hunger.
Sad.
Cool.
No experience triggers.
No, you missed a roll.
No, but like it's not a roll with a state.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So you still mark XP because you failed, and I still make a miss, but you don't need to mark a box
spike.
in a spike
Oh,
in the emotion.
Okay.
So Anyone else have beginning of session moves? Catalyst, let's see. Nope. Q definitely does, though.
I got a hit too.
You got a hit? So I ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Cool. What would be a good one to pose as you just ineffectually strike somebody?
Hey, it was a good punch.
Yeah, but I mean... let's go with for what purposes... for what purposes could I have been created?
That's a good question. Can I think on that for a bit?
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, maybe I wasn't built to be a
fighting robot.
Yeah. I should reconsider my life. To my parents' house.
Oh, man. That'd be beautiful.
Sweet. Okay, so, Imani, do you know what you're doing? Yeah. Hit me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and take a shot at him.
Okay, and Arthur?
I am going to merge with my object, so
Dope.
I can like basically whip at the vehicle and then grab onto the vehicle and I guess
Ooh,
try to swing into the iconoclast that way.
cool. Okay. And Q? Lauren?
Sorry, I was thinking. Well, Ayushe's still in trouble, right? Like immediately with this guy. I think
actually, here, just a sec. I'll help you with that. With this myth on the table. The iconoclast stops screaming. He puts like it would be a hand, but it's all robed, if you recall. So it's sort of like an outstretched robe instead of a hand. But it looks, not very meaty and slender, like a kind of like a creepy like vampire thing going on. And it makes contact with Ayusha's head, and it starts like having a golden glow seeping out from Ayusha's head into the robes, doing something to him. So what do you do?
is there something like in my immediate vicinity I can use as a weapon instead of my fists? Because I've since learned that they are an ineffective method of detaining people.
Yeah,
like
well, let's
2x4 or a pipe or something.
Well, I think you're in a market, right? And I bet they're selling weapons right beside you anyway, right? So
Yeah.
I think there's like some sort of not like a bazaar, but just like a futuristic table that is holding all these weapons, and sort of like, how every time they transport weapons in the movies, it's like that case with like the exact cutout of the weapon around it. It's like that for all these weapons around, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff. There's like whatever you need, a pistol, shotgun, whatever you want to grab, except for like fucking rocket launcher or something, right?
Well, that would endanger my dear friend, and I can't have that happen.
Yeah, maybe there is a rocket launcher. There's only a rocket launcher. Just kidding.
Yeah, I would like it to make a grab for some kind of, I guess, like ranged weapon, like a pistol or something, and then, I'm not pay for it. I'm just gonna grab it and say like,
Yeah,
and it's totally gonna have ammo in it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it depends what you roll on that one, I think. Okay, so you guys are both going for weapons. Arthur is merging, and Abra, what you doing?
Am I close enough where I could try and like tackle Ayushe away from the iconoclast, or is it too far?
I had pictured you just rounding the corner, probably around the same area as Imani probably is. Like you just rounded around, just came up across. So like you're in close distance, but I don't know if you'd be able to. What cybernetics do you have? Do you have like augmented? Oh yeah, right. Damn. Okay. Well, you haven't even acted yet, so yeah, we'll just say that you're like really quick and you come through like the side, like just like you had gone through one of the side alleyways, and you're coming at them from like the side or whatever, right? Like they don't see you coming, you're barreling towards them. So you want to like tackle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's. I believe you're the one who hasn't acted the most yet, so we'll get you to do that first, and then we're gonna do Arthur, and then we'll execute the other ones. So
Sweet as.
let's see. Are you trying to deal physical harm, or are you trying to restrain them?
I'm trying to like restrain Ayushe to like get them away from the iconoclast.
Oh, you're trying to tackle Ayushe, not the iconoclast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're just basically trying to extricate him from the iconoclast grip. Whatever
Yeah.
he's doing.
Exactly.
By tackling him. Okay. I think I know what the consequence might be. So why don't you roll up risk for me? And the risk, I think, is that there is going to be some harm done to Ayush from this separation, or, the iconoclast might see you coming, etc. There's a plethora of things that could happen with this.
Sweet as. And
So
I'm
how do you
definitely rolling
feel?
with Matt because
Okay.
I am so frustrated right now.
Yeah. I can see that.
It is a 9.
A 9? Sweet. Let me get my reference sheet back up here. I think as you're running, you see Ayush kind of convulsing from whatever is happening. And I think there is enough of this golden, streaky, futuristic technology stuff that is moving from Ayush's face to this person that it is definitely going to cause him harm if they're separated at this point. Do you still want to do it?
Sure. Why not?
Do you have a belief about causing, like you have one where
She has a belief about not caring what happens to humans.
yeah,
Some humans.
Yeah. So if you feel like this is being tested, take some XP. And so I'll give you scene control too. What does it look like when you extricate him? We'll say the iconoclast doesn't see you coming, and take it from here.
I think it's like if the iconoclast is like holding his head, he's kind of like ragdolling, like he's going completely limp. And then just from the side, straight out of nowhere, like a complete rugby tackle into his side, like crashing him into the ground, comes April. Like as they separated, maybe there's like this electrical discharge into Ayush, as well as like him hitting the ground with a thud.
Nice. And suddenly, a different scream pierces the air, Ayush's, instead of the iconoclast. As we go to Arthur. Merge it up.
Merging it up. I am feeling kind of mad right now.
And you were saying it like kind of grafts to your arm to become a
Yeah.
whip-like thing? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like it.
And that's an 8.
All right. So what does that give you?
Succeed, but give your object +1 hunger. So I do
Cool.
give it +1 hunger.
Okay. So it has 2 hunger. Oh yeah, I write on the computer. I always like look around for a pen being like, where do I write this? But it's on the computer. That's where I do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Right.
So you merge with the object and you're going to try to grip the ship.
Yeah, grip the ship and then swing from there to the iconoclast and then hit the iconoclast with the whip.
Okay.
So kind of an acrobatic maneuver, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder if we could abstract it into neutralize completely. Like, you could spend it to take away an advantage and then do harm. You would need to succeed. Well, I'll give you a choice. Okay, so neutralize. We could abstract it pretty well because if you do well on the roll, you could both take away an advantage, which would be the car, and then also deal damage to them. But on the flip side, we could also do a risk maneuver for your acrobatic and then move into you attacking the iconoclast after with a separate roll. Which one do you want to do?
I think I would go with com with the combining
So
the
just neutralize?
just neutralize.
Cool.
The less rolls the better, in
Sure.
my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still pretty mad.
Why are you mad?
Uh, I'm ge- I mean, I'm either mad or powerful at this point.
Yeah, well, I remember you were mad in last week because I think all of you had the same reaction, right? Like you
Well, I
were.
was scared, but now I'm mad that this car is in the way,
Oh,
and I'm guessing I could see it as being powerful now that I'm merged.
yeah. I think that Rebecca gives you a little bit of something that you didn't have, right?
Yeah. So I'll mark that. So that unmarks scared. And I roll powerful. And that is another 8.
Another 8.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, it's the only difference would be the spikes, but but they're
Right.
the same state number.
Neutralize 8. Okay, so you get 2 hold.
Yeah.
So taking away an advantage is the 2 hold.
Yeah.
Changing, you could force the change of the location and then inflict harm though.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Latter one.
So
Force a change of location and deal harm.
okay. So for force of change of location, you're spending the hold, which is your agency in the scene, but I'm the one choosing the new location. So
Yeah.
I think that everything goes as planned for you. Like you attach your whip-like thing to the car. It just like what I'm picturing is sort of like a what would be a good like a snake, except that as soon as it hits the side of it, it like embeds itself with these like technological prongs or something like that. Is that a good?
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you had in mind as well?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the change of location, I think, is you're gonna get what you want. You end up like right in the direct line of sight and able to attack the iconoclast. But I think the card didn't see it coming, and I think you swing into what essentially is its like tire, like
Yeah.
repulsor tire thing, and it starts like spinning, and it's going to be like crashing and into the alleyway behind you as you're doing this thing. So it looks pretty cool cinematically as well. Uh,
Okay.
and then you still have 1 hold to spend. So what do you do with it?
Deal harm to the iconoclast by swinging and then in midair whipping it.
In midair.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So, is it the same? Like, is your
It's
stake-like
the same.
thing?
It's the same
Yeah.
whip. It's just it detaches and then in midair I just whip it and it attaches to the iconoclast and does this draining thing like it was doing to Ayush, kind of, I guess. Because
Okay. So,
I do have the one where I regain harm by dealing harm.
gotcha.
So
Cool. So it's not like um a motion that is like a flick, like a normal whip, and then it makes a strike against them. It's something that stays attached to them and is currently
yeah,
draining them, right?
yeah.
Cool. Okay. And did you give your object tags for harm?
Oh, +1 harm.
Cool. Okay. And if you were harmed, then you would heal 1 harm, but you're fine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right. That was pretty sweet. And now we're going to go to, I believe, Imani was next. And then after that, we will go to Q.
And Imani is pissed as fuck.
Also, there's a car crashing into the alleyway behind you, y'all. So if anybody cares about civilians and stuff, I don't know, might be a thing.
Not it.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
So I guess this would be neutralize, I guess.
Yeah.
For
I'm glad
shooting.
by the way, I'm glad that you guys are the group that is defending the people.
Nope.
Yeah. So you're neutralizing them for sure
Yeah.
if you're attempting to.
So neutralize plus mad. Okay. Spike value by 1 and rolling. Slash roll.
Oh, you can also, if you use the tool on Roll20, if you on the left side, if you click the button that looks like polyhedral, it should have your list of last 10 rolls or whatever, and you can just click on that. Alternatively, on your playbook, you can just select the
roll dice. There we go. That's easy. Attribute is mad. Oh, I think I added. Well, okay, yeah, that's right. Submit. Okay. I got a 9.
Cool.
To hold.
What gonna do?
Let's see.
Oh, also, sorry. As this is happening as well, Arthur, you I guess it cancels out because you heal the pain, right? But on the 7 and 9 for it, you take damage, but then you heal it anyway. So I think there's some feedback from, like you were saying, there's some feedback from the iconoclast with that connection. But then maybe it looks like a maybe it looks yellow in the charge or whatever, and then your color, whatever that color is, overrides it, right? Red, yeah. So it becomes red, and you kind of like override its shit, and it's probably pissed about that. Sorry, Shane. Then what do you do?
It's okay. I think I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to inflict harm and suffer little harm.
Cool. And you're using what?
I am using. Oops, sorry. Plasma 6 shooter. 2 harm, close, reload, loud.
Cool. So what is it? Does it look like a what should I call it?
I think it looks like an old school like
revolver?
Yeah, revolver. Like six shot revolver type of a thing. Because it kind of has that old school feel.
Does it look like exactly as the audience would be expecting it to look, or does it look like upgraded and enhanced or whatever? Or...
I think it looks a little bit upgraded and enhanced. I think it's probably like a little more, a little bigger and bulkier than any of those things are, but it still has that kind of feel to it. But I think the barrel is probably wider and just kind of maybe a little bit like sawed-off shotgun size, but maybe smaller actually. Now that I think about it. But it still has like a revolving like chamber thing.
Mm-hmm.
It still has like a freaking hammer too. So like
nice. So does it go into like a slow-mo thing of it like ejecting this weird charge of plasma or whatever?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. I like it. Where are you aiming at this creature?
Just chest, I think.
Chest? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you deal 2 harm. Okay, cool. So it looks a lot more physical. Like I like the idea of initially the audience would think that this creature would look sort of like ethereal or whatever, but as soon as the bolt hits into it, people are aware that it's a very physical, normal like man. It gets like launched back, like just like you actually. It'll be the mirror scene, right? Like you return in kind exactly what happened to you, and it just sort of like does the Darth Maul force push thing where they like it curls up into itself and goes flying backward.
Nice.
Right? Probably detaching the whip at the same time though. Okay. Sweet. I like it. So it goes hurtling back. Abril, you're on the floor with Ayushe, and you see, as you look to the side, the flying form of the iconoclast as it gets pushed back and hits the street, and people are screaming everywhere. You look, so that will be to your left. To your right, you'll see your compatriots, and behind them, you'll see this car, which is like doing its crashing thing into the markets, and there's people there. And do you care? And Ayusha's in a lot of pain as well. So a lot of shit's going on. What do you do?
You're muted.
Uh-oh. Deer in the headlights, Alex.
Me, I thought it was Q, sorry.
Oh, no, it's you. It's you. Okay. Yeah.
Me.
You're like, this is cool.
Oh,
I wish I
yeah.
was going to do something.
Yeah.
Good news. You do.
Wow. It's like Christmas. 3 weeks early. Yeah, I mean, there's people there, but I've got a mission. So I might just, like, pull out my gun and shoot the iconoclast.
As he's going by?
Yeah.
Sounds dope to me. Okay, roll it. This guy's getting fucked up. Or girl. We don't know about iconoclasts.
It's my feeling wheel. What am I feeling?
Yeah, you're kind of like, yeah, you were saying earlier that you were really mad, right? So it's sort of like a forceful double tap or something, right? As he's going by, like, and fuck you too.
I think I'm kind of powerful in the moment because, like, I've got Ayushe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nearly there. I'm in control.
Yeah, for sure. Roll it up. Is that good for you or bad?
It's really good. That's my jam.
Nice.
Which is good because that becomes a 7.
Okay, great. And make sure, P.S., anyone who failed to be marking down XP, and make sure that you're marking your emotion spikes and mitigating them as well. So, like, if it cancels out, delete the other one, add that one, etc., etc. Okay, so you got a 7 on neutralize, which is to hold. So what do you want to do? And also, just to clarify, because neutralize works a little bit different than most PBTA games. Neutralize, the difference between neutralize and normal things like seize by force and all that. Seize by force is a choice. This is a hold, which means that you're exercising your agency in the scene by doing it. So you're doing it to do it still, but in terms of who has narrative control over the scene, it's the player because you're spending your hold. Does that make sense? So instead of like in Seize by Force, and I'm not sure what other PBTA games you've played, but a lot of other ones like this, it's abstracted to the point where the player picks the choices that they want to have happen, and then the MC tells you what happens. In this one, you get your hold, and you tell me what happens by spending the hold in the scene. So you have narrative control. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So tell me how you spend it.
Sorry.
What?
I was gonna comment on the whole thing, but basically I was gonna say it also makes the timing like a thing, like I did in my previous neutralize.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's like you spend your whole to do one thing and then spend your whole to do the second thing.
Exactly, yeah. Does that make sense, Alex?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. I can never tell with your expressions. Okay, cool. Tell me what you're doing. And also, since you got a 7 to 9, the move says that you will take harm unless you choose one of the options, suffer little harm, just as Imani did.
Right, I'm pretty tempted to just copy Imani with the inflict harm, suffer little harm.
Cool. So what does your weapon look like? Like, give me the
That's my
scene.
weapon.
This guy is like, they blew a ton of money on this action sequence, apparently, right? The guy is like going past you. It goes into bullet time again. We get the shot of you with whatever weapon, and then you're doing whatever. Tell me.
All right. Fanciest thing I can imagine. So I think it's like the heavy pulse gun. So I think it's like kind of like a brick with a grooved out handhold with like a whole bunch of fancy lights running down the side and like a narrow slit at the end. And as I point it at the iconoclast running by, there's like a blue circle of light on the outside. And then as I pull the trigger, I like clench my fist. It's like a drop of water splashed into it. Like it spreads out and then focuses into one shot. Like right into the iconoclast's back.
Nice, man. This guy's getting messed up. Okay, so the bolt strikes the iconoclast. You choose suffer little harm so you don't take any harm, right?
Yes.
Yeah, unless technically you might take harm if I was in a position to deal you more harm, but the guy's like flying through the air, so I'm not sure he's like doing any matrixy moves to get off like some crazy harm or anything. So he flies by, he gets shot, and I think he ends up by getting shot twice, pretty close to the barrier. If you remember last time, I had said that this dome was whatchamacallit, temperature controlled, and like just a really nice place to be for corporate to kind of sponsor everybody to come here and enjoy themselves and spend lots of money. It's one of the safe zones in the place. Oh, Alex, are you still there? Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Pick the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this bubble essentially is in like red alert mode. You guys had assumed it was because of all this action going on. They end up crumpled by the edge of the bubble, which is tinted red, meaning like red alert, shit is going down. They make no movements. They look like they are quite taken care of at this time. What does Arthur do?
So the iconoclast is not moving. That's not the concern right now. I'll
Yeah.
actually
Well,
did I see the golden thing? Like I saw the golden thing, and can I make the connection that was information?
yeah, I think that's a thing that you can surmise, especially since we talked about how you guys had the general knowledge of like
Yeah.
them being pure knowledge and such, right? Also, I'll remind you that there is still like a careening car like hurtling towards you in the alleyways and such.
Oh, wait,
I'm
was it
going to
hurtling towards us or hurtling just towards
Well,
away
like
from
random
us?
people.
yeah, like people, and you're in the alleyway too. Why don't you guys care about this?
Sorry, when
Because we're all dickheads.
well, I thought it was going away from us, such that it was going to just like kill a bunch of pedestrians and not have any issues with us. But now it sounds
Oh.
like you're actually having it coming towards us.
Yeah, like I thought I had explained that it was landing in the same alleyway as Arthur because of the way that they had attached themselves, and like it messed up the car and spun, and it had landed right behind them, right?
Okay, so I guess
So-
that means that we probably need to skedaddle quickly.
I'm grabbing the iconoclast first because that information is important.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Belief challenge.
What is the belief? PS?
The one that the information that Ayush has is more important than him.
Right. And more important than the iconoclast too, right?
Yeah.
Is what you're referring. Cool. So you go over to Abril to extricate Ayush from them, basically, right?
Or I want to get the information that the iconoclast was getting from Ayush from the Golden
Ooh.
Globe.
So here's a
Yeah, she
question.
wants to get the iconoclast. She wants to grab the
Yeah.
iconoclast, not Ayush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
hence why
okay.
the belief comes into play.
Got you. Right. For some reason, I was thinking Ayush. I was like, you just walk over to Abril, huh? Okay.
No,
So
I just run over to the iconoclast and grab it.
okay. So you're taking the body, or you're trying to do something with the body to extricate this information?
I don't think we have time since there's a car flying towards us, so I'm just taking the whole body and running.
Sounds good. Okay, I don't think I need to. Yeah, I think you guys are professionals. I don't think that you need a roll to be like, car bad, we leave now. Okay, what is everybody else doing?
I'm probably going to be
Oh, you go.
surprised at what Arthur is doing, but like, whatever. I'm going to try. I think I'm probably going to go to Avril and try to get Ayushe out of the way of this careening car.
Cool. Everybody else? Abril, are you just helping?
Yeah. Getting out of way of car. Good plan.
Okay. And Q likes cars, right?
Yeah. To consult her HUD to figure out where best to shoot this car to get it to stop moving.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. I love
Oh god.
Okay, so that
You
sounds
did pick
like,
up the rocket launcher.
yeah. That sounds like a analyze to me, unless you have a more pertinent move on your playbook.
Probably not. Analyze sounds good. Because I figure, like, I trust that Imani has everything under control with
Ayushe.
Ayushe.
It seems reasonable. Oh. 9.
Oh, yeah, 9.
Cool. Analyze. Ask 2. Do you need the questions?
Oh no, I've got them here.
Okay.
How is this vehicle vulnerable to me?
Yeah. So it like hits the ground once, and then it does its like spin to the undercarriage, and you can your HUD like isolates all the different sections of it. You get like a little whatchamacallit. I don't know what it's called, but there's like it almost like freezes the image and then labels everything for you, you know? And one of them is like the propellant system. It's like hydrogen oxide or some shit, right? So that is vulnerable to you. Otherwise, let's give another option as well. That would be neat. You could also hit one of the structures that is like really sturdy. I'm thinking it's sort of like the inspiration for the set is kind of like a Calcutta thing. So maybe some of the market stalls are like those heavy mud that like not a hut or whatever, but some structure that is like those heavy mud things. And if you were to aim it at a specific part in it, it would collapse forward and then pin the car in place as it is like coming towards you. Other
Awesome.
questions?
And then I feel like it would be foolish not to ask, is this going to get worse before it gets better?
In terms of what, like, what is your priority? Like, is in terms of like it will kill more people, in terms of like is it going to stop right before you, like in that kind of movie way or whatever?
Yeah. I think the latter. Like, I'm thinking more about our immediate safety than the safety of other people. Apparently.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I like that dilemma. Then you have the information you that could stop it if you wanted to, or yeah, I think that you could back up a few steps and it would be the movie thing where it like came to a stop just like a foot in front of you or whatever, and you would be fine. Your HUD sort of calculates the acceleration of the object, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff flashes in your HUD. What do you do?
Neat. I would like to shoot his propellant system.
Nice.
Or
Okay, cool. Cool. I think I don't. I'm torn between risk and neutralize again, because forcing a change of location might be interesting, but what is your main goal is what I'll ask between deciding each one of these. Is it to make it blow up, or to make it go somewhere else, which would be like a change of location, or is it just like I want to be really precise and strike the gas tank, in which case I think it would just be a risk move, and we know that it would blow up.
This is rough because, like, sorry, should I go, Jim?
I was going to say, it seems like are you trying to avoid imminent danger? If so, that'd be risk. If you're trying to take control of the situation or neutralize a threat, then that'd be neutralize. So it kind of sort of sounds like risk.
Yeah, it's sounding more risky to me.
Yeah, well, the difference is, though, is in neutralize, you could force a change of location as well, which means not only would you blow it up, but you could say exactly where it lands as well, right?
Oh, I see.
Yes. But there is a risk of being harmed as well with rolling neutralize, right? So I will leave it to you. We'll say that neutralize, you could potentially get 2 hold and spend it in order to force a change of location that would like be good for everybody, right? Like send it hurtling out of this dome or whatever. Or you could simply strike it and let the chips fall where they may.
I'm such that kind of player where I'm like, I'll just see what happens. So,
So what was it?
I guess I'll roll risk. I like rolling risk.
Okay, sounds good. So how do you feel?
I feel pretty. Hang on, with my wheel of emotions.
You're the apparatus. Do you have any other emotions?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yet.
I'm feeling pretty. I'm feeling pretty proud. Like we've turned this around, man. We're taking care of business, which is powerful.
Really be a robot. Be a robot.
Wow, I've been rolling 9 for days. So it's a 10.
I think good.
Yeah, 10.
Roll 20 is cheating. I liked it last time when you guys failed all the time. Okay, so let's see. Let me read this here. Cost, complication, or choice.
Well, it's a 10 with the modifier, I think.
Yeah, I just haven't figured out how to add modifiers because I'm bad at roll 20.
Oh,
add
it's
the
a 10.
modifier.
Okay, so
that's
so
one.
Aside from changing its like forcing a change of location, tell me how you do your thing.
Yeah, well, I like to think it's a very so like scan with the HUD, and then it's a really quick like swap between putting that down and getting the pistol out and like shooting it right in this tag thing, and then Q does. I like to think that the card is a bit of like swervy business, as shit starts to go down, and careens like into one side of the alley and then the other side of the alley, and then like comes to a screeching halt like a foot from Q. And I think Q is just like staring right at the windscreen, assuming that you can see through the windscreen.
I think it would be, what is it called, polarized or whatever, because they're like shady individuals. Yeah. So it just like looks black or whatever. But so it stops. Are you like pointing your gun at the windshield, or?
I think I might even take a shot at the windshield.
Okay, well, we'll just cut over to Abro and Imani. What happens is Ayushe, after his screen gets drowned out by the car, which blows up. But he stops screaming, and then he grabs onto both of you, and he looks like hysterical, and he clutches at both of you and he says, please, you don't understand. I have to get to the storm. And you can see now that the red tint on the bubble that was saying like you thought it was danger because like shit's going down, but actually a sandstorm is coming. A nanostorm is coming. And but he's saying that like you need to let me go. I need to get into the storm. The iconoclast took too much from me. We're risking too much. I need to get into the storm. I need to assimilate it. And he's kind of like not making too much sense. Like he just got beat up and, you know, some info messed out from him, but he's making to desperately have you let him go towards this bubble just as Arthur is coming like back from it with the iconoclast, right?
Is that even something that he could do? I mean, could he get out of the bubble?
I think nobody really knows how the Onomastics do what they do, right? He's like the last of his kind, so you know that he's pure information, though. And you know that there are rumors about the nanostorms, about how like there have been blue eyes at the nanostorms, right? Like almost like the nanostorm is a thing that could assimilate somebody. So he's saying it's like a good thing that he would be assimilated, like they would merge or whatever.
And remind me again, what was our actual mission?
To keep him from being killed by an iconoclast. So it would be kind of like an almost win, right? Like he didn't fall into enemy hands, but you guys don't have him either, right?
Well, we were
To be
explicitly
honest,
just told to
sounds
make
like
sure that the iconoclast didn't get him, not that we were supposed to like bring him back, right?
Yeah, but there's probably like an implication of like, hey, maybe don't let him get fucked up, right?
Okay.
It sounds to me like he's hysterical. Money, can you do your thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I think I'm going to, oh, which one do I want to do?
I like this idea of him like attempting to push away from you guys and like limp towards the bubble, right? Like just desperate AF.
I'm gonna try and hold him back if I can.
Sure.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there's some way that I can kind of, what would make sense if I could, is there some way that I could just like kind of like calm him down, like super duper calm him down?
Do you have, let's see, your move. What moves did you take?
So I have shouldering the burden, and I haven't chosen my other one. I have searched feelings because of the flow I'm never lost, but I haven't chosen the other one yet.
Let's see. Well, yeah, so if you absorb, you can choose to completely clear out or fill up one of the emotion spikes in a different state from which you roll with. So if you're trying to make him like docile or whatever, you could spike out peaceful or even
yeah.
scared, right? So he's terrified and kind of like compliant or something, but still hysterical or whatever.
Yeah, let's do that. Cool. So yeah, so I guess I'm gonna kind of just like I think I'll like kneel down to him and just kind of take his hand and kind of just like look into his eyes and kind of make kind of cooing gestures, as it were, and just kind of I think kind of from my point of view, seeing just kind of this really cooling kind of blue aura light type of thing kind of coming from like my chest down my arm and into his arm and kind of just kind of flowing into him and kind of infecting him, as it were.
Okay.
So I need to roll, don't I? And that is
And,
with. Go ahead.
Let's see. So yeah, I tell you what you can absorb from them, and I think it would be. I'm guessing it'll be scared for him, but I'll look at the wheel. Actually, I think it's like sad, and then that gives you the opportunity to take scared from him or peaceful or whatever. But I think it might even surprise you, right? Like maybe you were expecting the hysterics to be rooted in scared, but instead I think he's like close to being spiked out into sad, suggesting that he's maybe not hysterical, but like sort of like resigned, you know, like as close to spiking it out as possible, but not quite spiked out.
All right, so Roll dice. Do I just roll, or do I roll with a with an emotion?
Yeah, you roll with an emotion.
Okay. So
Yeah, does it change when you get the information about him? Like,
yeah, I think I'm probably feeling sad. I think I'm probably
Yeah.
feeling like I think I would like to let him go and just kind of like destroy himself. But
well, I don't know if it would destroy him, right? But that's what
well,
you think.
yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, like I feel as though he's probably feeling like so sad and like kind of I don't know, almost suicidal as it were, and I would like to allow him to do that, but I don't feel I can because of my obligation to our generous benefactor, as it were.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So that'd be sad. Submit. Submit. 10.
Sweet.
Oh, I
So what
guess
does
it's
that
an
get?
11.
An 11. Nice.
Yep.
So choose 3.
No, it automatically calculates the +1, so it's 10.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Oh yeah. 6 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, all right, on a 10 plus, choose 3. All right. You get flow. They aren't aware that you're doing. You don't spike out the emotion yourself. You completely clear out or fill up all of their emotion spikes in a different state from which one you initially absorbed. Okay. So, yeah, how about I not spike that emotion out myself?
That sounds good.
How about I guess, so do I clear them out, or can
Or
I,
you can spike it out, right? What is the effect that you're going for to make him compliant?
um, I think I'd like to like make him like peaceful if I
Okay.
could.
So you spike out peaceful on him then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because some of them is like relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
serene,
Right.
thankful.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And
Cool.
then, so does that also clear out their sad, or is it just that they're both spiked out at this point?
The other one wasn't spiked out; it was just
Oh, okay.
close to it. Yeah, he
Gotcha.
had a lot of that emotion, so it would definitely like his peaceful would override what he is feeling with his scared, and he would become like this compliant individual.
Okay. And I'm mostly trying to figure out whether or not I should also try to clear that out, or if I should just get one flow.
Up to you.
Remind me again what, and the flow isn't something that I can lose, right?
Yeah, you can accrue it and then spend it on some other moves. Sometimes moves will call for you to roll flow instead of just roll.
But then do I lose it, or is it just accrued?
Yeah, you spend it on some moves.
Oh, okay. I think I will clear out his sad. I'll clear out his
Okay.
sad, I'll spike out his peaceful, and I won't spike out my sad.
Okay. So I think, yeah. So just tell me what that looks like then.
Yeah, I mean, I think we see, like, as I said, the kind of like the blueness covering up. What I didn't take was they aren't aware of what you are doing. So I think kind of like opens his eyes and kind of, I think he kind of sort of slowly, well, not slowly. I think we see kind of like a look of panic and like that kind of look of like, no, I don't want this to happen to me look on his face, but then like kind of slowly that kind of goes away, and I think he becomes like kind of sleepy and kind of just calm, and I guess maybe let's see here. I guess, yeah, maybe even a yeah, maybe not maybe not a smile, but like just the kind of like calm and at ease. Probably even just not going so far as maybe sleep, but very easy to be moved around.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
we're able to kind of like and you can tell me this or not, but I think we're able to kind of like pick him up and kind of like just kind of start walking away with him if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think Admiral, like when you say that you went to go stop him, I think you see this take place, except probably minus the aura stuff and all that, right?
Yep.
I think that's only between them, but he visibly changes into what Shane described, and you find yourself like grabbing him and him being a lot more compliant. Like the his need to leave has completely melted away. Cool. My question for Arthur is: you've got the iconoclast. Do you think it would be a good time to flesh out the hunger of your object? Do you think it would be like? Do you think it would hunger for the information that is attached to this iconoclast?
That sounds fair to me.
Okay, I'll give you an XP if you allow your object Rebecca to like maybe not even known to you or whatever, but we see you like walking away with this guy that you've got over your shoulder or whatever, and then you're still merged with it, right? So the snake I think just crawls up your arm and then like latches itself onto the helmet or whatever of the iconoclast, and we see that like gold stuff start coming in if you allow it.
I'll allow that.
Cool.
Free XP, lol.
Lol. Yeah. So I think then let's move to Q, who is aiming at the whatchamacallit, the futuristic windshield thing.
Yeah.
Actually, do you guys want to take a short break then? It's already been an hour now, so it might be, or an hour and a half, right? So it might be good to think about what you guys want to do next, and we'll be on a little cliffhanger with this polarized window action. Come back in
Sounds good.
5:35.
Cool.
Sound good?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, see you then. Is Shane here? I guess not. Man, action sequences always take so long, hey? I guess only when I'm like,
also very bad at them.
what is the color of your gun? What does it look like? Okay.
Those questions, I was like, oh man, in my mind, mine's totally like one of those retro like guns with circles, like the circle rings in it and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just like to know what people's guns look like. You know?
I think so.
So, okay, so you're pointing your gun at this vehicle's probably shielded windshield type thing, futuristic windshield thing. What do you do?
Is my HUD indicating that if I shoot it, like it'll cause any damage to
the vehicle or to the shield thing?
to the shield, I guess. Yeah.
I think it would take a while to like permeate it with a gun. I think it's kind of like meant to repel this kind of weaponry. But I mean, you're an apparatus. Maybe you can hack the thing, right?
Yeah, I totally want to hack the thing.
Hack it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Do you think this is something you already know or need to find out?
Oh, good question.
Or maybe let's just do risk. I think like the risk is them like the technology fighting you on this and maybe giving you some feedback or something like that, right? Or just simply not being able to accomplish the task. Because I think
sounds good.
Oh, what did I do? Okay, I'm back. All right. No, yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Okay. So, because I don't think you're looking for information, I think you're just trying to execute it so that you can get into this vehicle or whatever, right?
Yeah, totally. I have a strong suspicion that these people are they're no good to my dear friend Ayushe.
Yeah.
So
You ain't no good.
Cool. So I'm feeling pretty we're about to disengage these people who are after Ayushe.
So you look like on camera. You look pretty confident.
Definitely, yeah. It's bordering on creepy because that's been their expression this whole time.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, that's a 4.
Okay, and last time you did this, so yeah, I don't think that you can get pluses here unless somebody's helping. I don't see how they could though if you're internally hacking a windshield. So yeah. What I'll give you with this though is well, first of all, what does it look like visually to hack this thing?
I kind of feel like it's all done through this heads-up display that I have. So I kind of feel like, you know, the HUD like sort of targets the vehicle and then like zooms in on the shields and sort of like zooms in closer on there, and then yeah, I guess it's all maybe I think it's all through the HUD.
So it's all through this program. It's not like you are the being hacking this. It's just like execute this program, go. That right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think, you know, you've got your little progress thing as usual. And it like hiccups as the program. I think you get like injected with Dr. Fish, which is a virus. And what you know about this by hacking it though is I think your HUD is like pretty advanced and such, and it comes up with a name which is SecTech, which is like, I don't know, like #2 corporation in the world dominating thing, right? So it is quite strange that this vehicle would be that level of technology. It'd be um, like advanced military stuff that people shouldn't have access to, essentially, right? But then, just as it comes up, you get this virus, and you take one harm AP from it, and then there's like you start seeing like all these like little fishes swimming around you.
Awesome. I'm not feeling very superior at the moment.
Yeah, that's weird. And like visually, I think you like sort of twitch out and collapse like a little bit, right? So,
yeah, like sort of like a
one
board, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like a board, exactly. So you one moment you're aiming at this windshield, the next you're aboard. um, Arthur, I think whatchamacallit, this information is like sort of hard to make use of. Since you're merged, I think it's going right into you instead of it just being like imbibed by your snake. It's happening in real time for you. But all this information, I think it's like a data dump, right? It's like a little bit overwhelming as you're continuing to carry the body or whatever. I think your snake eventually does, or Rebecca eventually does get at all of this. But my question for you is, what do you continue to keep this body if you have all the information already from
No.
it? Yeah. So
Why would I
what do you
need
do
the
with
body if I have the information?
yeah, it's heavy, right?
Yeah. It's
So what do
heavy.
you?
It's not Ayushe, so no one cares about it anyways.
Yeah, I picture you kind of being like a little bit behind, perhaps
Yeah.
the other two with this body, and like the last of visually we see the last of that like stuff go into the snake or whatever. So what do you do?
I'll catch up with the rest of them.
Okay, so you just toss it aside or whatever.
Yeah, I'll toss it. I'll toss the body aside. Whatever.
I
It's
assume
dead.
that
Maybe.
you check to see if it's dead.
I'll check.
I think it's got like a little bit of a pulse still. Like it would take some medical skills to get it through, but it is like a faint pulse.
Whatever. I'll leave it there.
Okay, sounds good.
I just don't care enough.
And I think it's like I think I'm not sure if I described it well enough last time, but it's kind of got that mechanical throat action, kind of like
Alright.
yeah, kind of like Abril, but like very low tech, right? Like you see like it would be like really old cyberpunk stuff instead of like really nice sleeved and better than like Abril's version is clearly
Wait, isn't
the
that
better.
Ayushe who has that? Or
Ayush has one and Abril has the throat action, right? So it like looks like
Yeah.
it comes up to there on their face, I think.
but we're talking about the iconoclast, right?
Yeah. So what it looks like, assuming that you pull the
Yeah.
robe on the head aside or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a black domed head with like a little S insignia on the side of it, which is Sectec PS. I think everybody would know that. And then below that bulbous head, though, it looks like purely mechanical. Like it doesn't look like a human life would be in it. But then the way that you check for the pulse on a normal human, you know how you check like the carotid artery or whatever. Instead, it's like a cable that is pulsing as though it were a human life.
Okay.
Do you still
Whatever.
decide? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I still trying to decide. Like I don't care about this guy anymore.
Okay, sounds good. I think if you're the behind everybody else, you also, as you toss this lifeless corpse aside, you also look and see that Q has collapsed like a board. Do you do anything about that?
I'll look over since I do slightly care a bit more. What's going on?
So the Q is collapsed and maybe is a little bit unresponsive at the moment. Like maybe your
that
eyes
was
are
me
just
RPing, but like she's unresponsive. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think that you can speak, but remember, there's like fishes and stuff.
Oh man, I'm so torn on what I would be saying. I'm kind of tempted to go for like every other word cuts up, but then like like the virus taking over control of my like voice functions and having like one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, like
Guys,
maybe it's not.
guys, we have a problem here.
You say over like comms.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys are meanwhile back there lugging Ayush back or just guiding him or whatever, right? When you hear this. Also, I think they're at the same time that we jump back to you guys hearing this in your head comms or whatever, there's like a what should I call it? Like a gust of steam coming out of the vehicle as if it's like release some seals, right? Like they're ready to come out or whatever.
Oh.
So, Money, you want to stay here, or should I go check it out?
Well, how close are we to the seals? I mean, how close are we to the vehicle?
I'd say pretty close because I mean we just described Arthur getting there pretty quickly and checking on Q. So
All right, I guess I think I'm gonna have like a look of exasperation on my face and like just kind of like letting Avril take up the slack of Ayush, and like I will walk over to this vehicle and where the doors are starting to open, get kind of, if I can, out of view of whoever's in there, but if not, then just kind of behind, and have my gun at the ready, and just kind of wait for the doors to open up.
so you're trying to flank it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Okay. So like you guys are coming through a side street or whatever, and then you take like an alleyway that's adjacent to you, and you try to like double back behind it or something, right?
Yep.
Cool. Let's say you're really quick at that, just so this cinematics looks cool, and the air hisses, right? And at the same time, Ayush pulls Abril's like ear closer to them, and the door ejects with the steam or the whatever. Just a cool visual effect. And a woman comes out with like long auburn hair, sort of like tight features. They are kind of wearing the same robe as the iconoclast, but they are clearly like human. They don't have that bulbous thing going on, and their neck is, organic and seems 100% real, right? But they hold up a futuristic grenade-looking thing that looks like it would be. You guys know, I think in history or whatever, there was a war fought a few years ago called the Techno-Organic War, and these things would completely turn organic matter into like cybernetic matter, kind of like we saw in the alleyway with that skeleton that was completely cybernetic, something like that. And they hold it up and they say, "Those who wake do not regret the dream." And at the same time, we cut back to Abril, and Ayush says that into Abril's ear, like very quietly as well. So it's like happening at the exact same time. They say it. And then I'll give, I think, Imani and Arthur, you both can act near the same time. So what do each of you do?
I have the whip still grafted onto me. I am going to use that whip to take that grenade away from her.
It's like a dead man switch. Sorry, I should have said that. Like if you would, it's like, yeah, like dead man switch type thing. So if you were to take it, it would just like explode, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Do I know the radius of this thing?
I think it's like a close proximity. So if you could shoot at them, you would be erupted. It like erupts into this cloud that like sort of pours down on people, and that's how they get affected.
I basically want to push her away from like our vicinity, if that's okay.
Okay, towards the body.
Oh wait, so what's the layout right now? So we're in this
So-
alleyway.
Yeah, you're in the alleyway. Let's have the car just directly in front of you, right? Imani has cut behind it to flank it. So if you were to hit the person forward, Imani would be like where the person would land, right?
Oh, okay. So, does it look like she's gonna basically detonate the button right now?
Yeah, like it's like a thing that she says directly before she's about to like blow herself up or whatever, right?
I'm trying to think. Is it possible for the whip to like grab to her hand and attach itself to it and the grenade deadman switch thing,
Oh, like
so
so
she
to
doesn't actually let go?
oh, okay, like it would constrict her muscles so she couldn't move or whatever,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
sure. I think that. I will preface this with that is very dangerous. Okay, so you're not trying to inflict harm or anything. It's just a
No,
risk, I think, right?
yeah.
Cool.
And I am scared because she is going to blow shit up.
I wonder what might make sense with this too. Let's see what Imani is doing, because I could
Yeah.
picture Imani doing divert and giving you this opportunity, which would be way better for you than a
Yeah,
risk roll.
yeah, that makes sense.
Am I
Yeah.
going? I mean, do I have a sense that? I mean, has Arthur informed me that this is happening, or like
I think through your
I
comms, you're
see?
hearing
Okay.
everything at least, right? I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah,
It's up to you if you guys share visually what is happening as well, but you would definitely hear this, and I think you're directly behind the person too. So you see the exact same thing happen, except that you
behind
see
them.
their. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think I'll probably. I think I'll probably just try to strike up some sort of conversation along the lines of, uh, you know, well, we appear to be in an impasse,
Okay.
and probably just kind of like continue chatting her up a little bit so that she doesn't notice that Arthur is doing his thing.
um, I'm not sure if that would be a good enough distraction for someone like about to
Okay.
unpress a button.
Okay.
May I suggest
Sure.
like is are your empath powers do you have to be like touching them?
I don't. Not the one that. I mean, absorb. I don't
Because
think so. Yeah, I don't
It,
think so.
it just
because
says emotions around you, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess you can change the emotional state of her so that she gets confused and or she gets emotionally confused, and then that would give me the distraction, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. That's up to. I mean,
yeah, I think so. Like I think right now she's feeling
Powerful.
probably powerful is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
okay. I mean, like, I guess I can do. I guess my question is: so absorb is a move, and divert is a move. So am I going to be doing two moves, or am I going to be doing just the absorb, and we'll let it act as a divert, or one of the other ways?
Yeah, let's just handle it within the divert move because it's
Okay.
one roll both ways, and we'll just apply it to both.
Okay.
I think that'll be.
All right. Then I guess I am. How am I feeling here? I think I'm probably feeling scared at this point in time because I think I'm anxious about what Arthur is about to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Normal
Also, person with a bomb, not the best.
Right, exactly. Scared.
That's why I'm scared, actually.
Got a 10.
Okay, well that's good. So choose from divert as well as your other move.
Oh, I see. So I have 3. I have 3 to spend, and I can just pick it between the options on both, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, your actions create an opportunity for you or someone else.
That's a good one.
Yes.
There's also they become confused or flustered, but I'm not sure if you would need it if there was already an opening.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. I will go ahead and you said they're feeling powerful, so I guess if I spike out they're scared. Yeah. I guess
Sure.
I'll go ahead and spike out they're scared, and I won't spike out my emotion of
Okay.
draining out the powerful.
Yeah, I think their hand like was about to do this thing, and then the whip. Or did you already roll?
I did not. Let me roll
think-
my scared. And
I don't
that is
know.
okay, that's a 14.
Okay, well that's pretty good. Man, I think it's gonna start rolling some misses, but okay. So, so yeah. Let's do. You tell me what happens first, leading up to the point of the whip coming up and hitting them.
I mean, I think I do like just kind of start into chatter, as it were, just kind of like. But I think for the camera, we kind of.
Is it like Benny Gesserit?
I don't know. I think what it is like basically like the chatter kind of like goes into the background, like it kind
Okay.
of like the volume kind of goes down on the chatter. I continue like talking and stuff like that, but I think I'm probably like looking her directly in the eye, and um, I think we probably see kind of let me think what I'm spiking out there scared. So yeah, I would say maybe like trying to think of a good color for scared. I don't know, maybe like a darkish darkest purple or something like that, kind of coming out of my mouth like a smoke type of a thing, and kind of just slowly floating over onto her and kind of like enveloping her, and seeing her eyes kind of like starting to turn from like uh, I'm totally down with like going out for this cause in this way, to being like starting to have that concern of, well, do I really want to like die at this point in time type of look, and getting very questioning.
Cool. And then what happens next, Arthur?
And then while we see that slow motion, it just snaps back with and we see the whip grabbing her arm like out of off screen. And then it just whips back into reality, and it just grabs her hand and the switch as Arthur. He was scared because he wasn't sure why it was gonna work. He wasn't sure he like, oh shit, it's a bomb. But now he's pretty okay now, and he's gonna be like, okay, can you please explain what happened?
You say that to her?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think she's spiked out and scared, right? You said? Yeah. So I think her finger is still like trembling, but she can't do the thing and is having second thoughts anyway. But she just like she tries to say other words to you, but they come out like a hoarse like when you scream too much and there's just like no more words that are coming out, except that in that space it also sounds like a glitch, like a technological thing, like she's being censored as she's trying to get out these things, and her voice like goes hoarse at the same time. And if any of the words that she is trying to say line up with those who wake do not regret the dream, then she can get only those words out, but nothing else. Also, I think we'll cut back to Abril. And I think you've just seen this or heard it, right? Like you heard, it might have been even quite strange for you because you heard over your comms that those who wake do not regret the dream as the same time that Ayushe did as well, right? So what do you do?
I mean, I gotta ask you. She's like, what do you mean?
I
What
think
is-
he like pleads with you, and he's just like he gets the kind of same like he's spiked out and peaceful, so it's sort of like, I don't know, someone who's like high is getting out the words, right? Like it's like a dreamy, ironically a dreamy state that he's in as he says these words. But he says, like, in a matter of fact kind of way, he just looks at you and says, "Well, I think we are awake."
One more question is, do I know the radius on that like explosion device?
Oh, it didn't go off though.
But I mean, like, would I, if it were to go off, would I still be in the area?
No, I don't think so. I think you're like around the corner or whatever, right? Because Imani cut through an alleyway and then like went behind or whatever. So I imagine you like around the corner or something. Why? What did you want to do?
I was wondering if I needed to run away with Ayush.
Oh, well, I mean, there's still perhaps like the adrenaline from combat and stuff, right? And I think you're trying to lead him away anyway. Maybe you don't have to run or anything, but it's still like he is in like an area where combat had just taken place, so it would make sense to try to extricate him if that's what you want to do.
Sounds good to me.
And you have like wheels, right? Don't you have cool wheels from what I remember?
I have Heelys.
Yeah. Nice. So are you gonna try to like Healy, like ride the power lines out of here? Because remember, the dome went red, which means that the Nanostorm is like on its way and coming or whatever. It's like, get out, you know. So if you don't leave soon, you might be like trapped in the bubble or whatever for at least a little time until it goes past.
Sounds like a plan. I'll try and lead Ayush out of the bubble.
Okay, and so I guess you just like sling them on your back and try to like grind out or whatever, like Jet Set
like
Radio
fireman
style.
carry over the shoulders.
Okay, sounds good. I don't think a move would trigger, but while you were doing that, if you want to try to like, are you on the way to grinding out of here? Are you trying to talk to him more, or are you just like, this guy's high, we might as well just get out of here?
Yeah, this guy he doesn't seem to be making a lot of sense today. Okay.
So you're grinding back to like your HQ or whatever?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. I think you just hit the power line and we see your futuristic Heelys start going or whatever, and then we cut back to Q, who is like seeing fishes and sees, you saw everything that happened, but of course there's like koi fish going by and stuff.
Nice. I totally want to do a thing, but I don't know if it's the right time to do the thing.
Is it to learn an emotion? Makes sense. Are you trying to understand this person's fear? Or what is it that you're trying to understand?
Which person are we talking about?
Oh, you tell me. What are you trying to do? I think Arthur is scared, right, in front of you. They did the whip thing, and then the person who now has the whip latched onto their arm, and after the the action happened, they were spiked out on scared, so they're literally like terrified and holding like a bomb that they can't explode, and trying to
Yeah,
speak
I
to
think I
you and
want to.
communicate but can't, right?
Yeah, I think I want to focus in on that because that fear is so illogical because they're the one in complete control of the situation.
Yeah, makes sense.
Off a lot of weird, errant, deviant feelings.
Yeah, those deviants.
Yep.
Cool. Hit me with a roll.
Awesome. I got an 8.
Cool. So what does that give you?
Let's see.
1 humanity. And are you spending it to unlock
Ooh.
the emotion, or what are you doing?
I do for sure. I'm just feeling a lot of relatability between this really scared person who can't communicate and like that means that I can't communicate. And it's like you in such a position of power and confidence, and yet be so powerless control.
Yeah. Like maybe even try to understand it and like get some more information on your HUD or whatever, and you're flooded with like all these images of like people that are terrified who can't like express themselves because you're like trying to figure out if like this person not be able to talk is correct or not. And of course, it's normal, I think, to be paralyzed by fear and not be able to talk, but not in such a way that they're being censored now either, right?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
It's very terrifying.
And then what else do you do? So you take in this fear and internalize it and unlock it within yourself, right?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh man, it's running screaming into the darkness.
You run away. Well, I will say that, like, just because you've unlocked that emotion and you understand it, doesn't mean that you feel it and are spiked out on it right now either,
yeah.
right? It's purely
That's a
up to
good
you.
point.
If you think that you do feel that and then run away, that's legit too. But I don't want you to like feel like you have to do that because the move would like tell you to do it.
Yeah.
Because I also kind of
Imani's
I also, if I could suggest something, it might be interesting for you to try to probe them. And then one of the questions was like, "What do you wish I'd do?" Right? While you're
Oh
studying
yeah,
this
no, I like that.
person.
Yeah, I totally want to probe them more.
Yeah, I want to probe you. Okay. So how are you feeling? Are you scared?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like yeah, scared for sure, like between bewildered and insecure
And the scared
and a
is
bit
at the heart of
helpless.
it is because you don't understand this person and what they're going through, or
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
are
and
you scared for them because you empathize with what's happening with them? You know, like is it coming from like I need more information, or I understand you and I empathize with that, so
I think it's the latter.
okay,
For sure. Sorry.
cool. So probe them.
Cool. I need to also assign a step to scared.
Yes.
Let's do that.
What happened?
A
What?
13.
Double clicks.
Oh,
Oh,
because
I did.
both of them are okay though, right? So
Yeah. Out of that, yeah.
What's your modifier for scared?
1.
Okay, so it's either a 9 or a 13.
Yeah.
The
There's a
8
bit of
was for
difference
my
there.
prior roll.
Yeah. Is someone helping you to understand this person? Probably not, right? Probably not.
No,
So,
the 8 was for my roll prior, and this is the 12 for this roll.
oh, that's a new roll?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you double clicked it or whatever. Okay, so
All right, it
13.
looked like it. Sorry, I thought you double clicked it as well. It's a 13 then, yeah.
No, I
Okay,
typed it in because
13 is pretty good. Okay, so hit me. Also, you can tell me, it's up to you, but I kind of like the idea of them being like they're terrified or whatever, so it would even be possible now through your HUD to communicate them like with them internally, right? Like you could be saying this stuff out loud, or you could be having an interior dialogue with them, maybe even.
I like think that it's both like externally. I'm saying things like, this one has a little star, this one has a little car. Say what over that? There over what of fish there are. Yes, some are red, some are blue.
Okay.
But then
well,
like
hopefully-
internally I'm communicating with them.
Okay. Awesome. I was like, I don't know if she'll understand you then, but that's cool.
We get each other. She gets me. Even if I'm starting one fish, two fish, three fish, blue fish.
Yeah, I think you like cut into her channel or whatever it is on the HUD, and you see like the little vocal pattern on it, and she is saying like internally, why can't they understand what I'm saying? Like in her mind, she is saying all the stuff, but outward, it's like a word salad that's being censored and all that stuff, right? So she's saying she keeps saying like over and over internally they're coming, and then outside all you hear is the like glitch that kind of stuff, right? So what is your questions for probing?
Nice. Is this on a list?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want me to okay.
Oh yeah, I think what do you wish I'd do is a really good one.
Yeah, so she wants you to put a bullet in her head.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
she keeps saying they're coming. We don't have time. This bomb is only the beginning. You need to end me. And of course, outward again, she's like glitch.
I
Well, do you want to ask more questions? You've got 3 whole.
You have 2 more questions.
Yeah,
I don't need any more questions.
Well, you could be. Are you telling the truth?
Yeah.
Which she is. Maybe you just fed it on that. She's telling the truth, so you know that it's not just like a program thing, right?
You could ask, how could I get you to do something else, as in come with us or something like that.
Yeah.
I think she does say she says like that she did say like already this was the beginning, but she says like this bomb will pale in the comparison if they arrive. And maybe even like detect a hack on her system. Like an intruder or whatever.
Oh man.
So what do you do?
Oh jeez. I'm really tempted to just shoot her in the head.
I mean, you can. That's a legit thing to do. I just wanted you to get the most out of the roll, right? Because you rolled 13, so you might as well like spend all the questions too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are there any alternative options to not shooting her in the head?
Maybe make sure that everyone's safe from the bomb before
Well,
shooting her in the head.
I think you're doing what you're doing.
Arthur's
Oh,
Arthur's
okay.
wrapped around it. That's not going to be an issue. I mean, we may have to
Okay.
like amputate her arm and take it with us, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
but she is spiked out on scared, and she says,
Yeah.
they're coming, and then intruder alert, like she's being hacked or whatever, and maybe she starts even like seizing or whatever.
Yeah, I think Q just does shoot her in the head.
Boom.
Nice.
What is it? Nice. What are you using again? I can't remember.
My retro space gun.
Whatever the thing that she grabbed was that she
Oh,
took
yeah,
out
yeah.
the car.
And you didn't get a chance to describe it, did you?
No, I didn't, but I like to think it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you can, yeah. Because I didn't look, I totally think it is like a retro kind of space gun. Like it's not very, it this is very basic memorabilia of like a show from ages ago kind of thing, but it's still functional.
Okay, so like it still shoots like ballistic projectiles, that kind
Yeah.
of thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. So it's just like an antiquated gun of some kind, which is still a little bit futuristic or whatever, but not
Yeah,
like
it was probably worth a lot of money.
yeah. Sounds good. Okay. So yeah, I think there's like a echo, you know, as the gun goes off, and it sounds just like today's guns, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she like collapses. The Rebecca still is wrapped around the leg or the arm, so it can't go off. And then what does everybody do? Yeah.
I will say, I think when that happens and when I see who did that, I think I smile.
Why do you smile?
Because my belief, the beauty found in destruction without care for consequence is something I must instill in Q, and I feel like that's making progress on that.
Your baby grew up.
Yep. She just totally killed that person, even though it could have blown us all up. Oh,
Yeah.
I
think
like that.
I think it gets like pregnant and like quiet after the hollow sound, right? And all you hear is the sort of like alarm or whatever going off of like the nanostorm coming. But there's a few beats of that in the film or whatever, right? Of people just taking in what has happened here. And then yeah, you can act again.
Gonna try to take care of the bomb before going before moving on. Since I'm still Rebecca is still holding on to the bomb and the arm. So
Right, yeah. So yeah, I think you can just dispose of that.
yeah.
In fact, we could, if everyone's just going to leave after this, we could just cut back to like you guys in your HQ or whatever and paint the scene with that too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's because
I
I think leaving the place would be like whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think the last shot of Kilo is like Kilo is the gun and then looks to Imani, and for the first time it looks very insecure and is seeking some kind of affirmation or comfort from Imani.
Oh,
Even
definitely.
if it's just
Like, I mean, I think as I said, I think I'm smiling at you. So like with that little bit of pride. So yeah, I mean, you should be feeling good.
And maybe this is a good time to answer what purpose were you made, Q?
Killing.
It doesn't have to be that, but I think it's apropos.
Oh man. Yeah, well before that I was thinking like, well, I can't punch that guy and I totally failed hacking, so I'm neither of those things. Maybe I'm supposed to lead people and then I killed the person, so maybe it is killing.
Well, I mean, like humans fail all the time too, right? You think that you're perfect, which might be like these circumstances might be grounds to
Yeah, maybe
drive that belief, but I mean, people fuck up, right?
yeah. And I need to think of it. I need a minute to like try and phrase this right. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. So how about I think there is I think there's a number of locales where you guys would like safe houses or whatever that you guys would all meet at. Like I think before you were living your civilian lives, whatever, and looking after Ayushe, but there was probably like a common few spots where you're like, if shit goes down in section 9 or whatever, right? We meet here. So where is it that you take them, Abril? And I have a few. Let's see. I have a couple images if you want inspiration So here's
Sure.
one.
Sounds good.
Here's one. Oh, I closed some other ones. I had some pretty cool other ones. Oh well. But yeah. Someplace secure, I think, and nondescript or whatever you're thinking though. But
While you're thinking, I think I had it.
okay, yeah, hit me.
So I think like shot this person who was like clearly in a lot of pain, and then looked to Imani who was like, "Yep, you did good." I think my purpose is to end suffering.
Nice. I like it. Now we're in a Lauren game, right? Sad shit's happening.
Dead straight.
Cool. All right. And Abril, do you have an idea of where you might have taken this person?
Yeah. So I like the idea that like every now and then, because there aren't enough rooftops to go through with like the Healy line, the Healy Express, there's like an abandoned apartment complex, and at one of the floors has just been like all the windows are smashed out, and there have been like Healy lines installed in and out of the room, and so kind of like Healy into that room and carry Ayush down the stairs into like a really rundown underground cellar for this massive apartment complex where our safe room is.
Nope. Sounds good. Okay, I want to know from everybody what is like very technological and modern about this place that is different from what we would see in typical thing. Like it's basically like, hey, viewer of this show, this is the future. Don't forget. And then also the the other one is what about this place do we see that makes you know that it is a secure place and not just like another apartment or whatever, right? Whoever has ideas.
I'm thinking the typical like spy show, several layers of security and identification might
Okay.
work.
But as Admiral goes in, it's like breathe into it and like eye test and like say your name or whatever and like all this other stuff
Yeah,
going on.
and that fulfills the two requirements. It's the future and it's secure.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
it for me.
I've noticed we've acquired a lot more aquatic animals since the last time we were here.
Yeah. Is that so?
There's
Like,
a lot of fish.
oh, okay. Like in your vision, not actually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
I was gonna say aquariums. Okay, sure.
Sure. Like there could be that typical like hollow screen for a window, right? Where like you're looking out to the sandstorm 1 minute and then you push a button and it's like, you know, a beautiful meadow or some shit, right?
I like that.
I like the idea that like in the Vale, like everything looks exactly as you'd expect, like all run down, and like this, like the entrance door is like half smashed and like slightly ajar, but then like in reality, it's all like I don't know, like super fancy carbon fiber metal or whatever. And it's like all these, like all the cables and like electricity pumping into the hollow screens and like fancy displays in the room that you just can't see in the Vale, are all like covered and hidden with objects.
Cool. So you like it's neat because it's like the opposite of what the veil is typically used for, right? Usually it's to dress up the dirty and the grit or whatever with something nice, and instead you guys have used it to like, you know, have some subterfuge and make it nondescript and stuff, hey?
Yeah.
I like that it's like it's actually just like a normal apartment building, and like, and we're making it look all grungy and shit because reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like there's at least specifically for Amani, I feel as though, like, even here, there is this kind of really densely packed wall unit of like a wardrobe, basically, with like different changes of clothes for her, like all there and kind of like selectable. And there's like kind of she can just kind of like have a keypad type of thing to kind of like decide like the color and the shade and the shape and stuff like that, and it'll just kind of like sort, and then like kind of like open up to give that as a choice.
And even like, even like amount of dirtiness and stuff, right? So you could be
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want a janitorial outfit for this like sec tech or whatever, and I need it to be this dirty, and it's like no problem.
Yeah, but I think though that it's like this is all like the same like kind of vibe, like that kind of like Victorian like diesel punky type feel, but it's just like all, I think, different versions of cleanliness and different colors and stuff like that, but still with that same aesthetic.
Cool, love it. So, Abra, you've got Ayush into the apartment. I think he like collapsed onto you while you guys were healing up to it. So is it like you basically just ride a line right to this apartment, right? Which is, I like that visual a lot. But once you're in there, do you examine Ayush, or what are you doing while you're there? What's up?
Yeah, I will check Ayushe out. I'll try and find out like why he's spouting this nonsense.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I think in terms of questions, it might be a lift the veil, and you can just pose like get information in as much detail or an impression from it, because I'm not seeing, well, you tell me, do you think the probe and analyze ones would lend yourself to the information that you want? Probably not, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, you want to like more a specific question that you want answered in as much detail as you can get, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So what does this look like on screen? Like, are you just like, do you have some futuristic med tech thing where you're scanning him or whatever, or what?
I've got it. So it's like, you know that he's got like cyber eyes from last time. So I think like I'm gonna try and access his record banks with my Omni tool, which means like opening up my throat, like these like tiny little like metal spidery legs reach out and like start like tapping on the eyes, like interfacing with them to see his memories, kind of thing.
We get the like uncomfortable cyberpunk movie shot where it's like he's laying down and the camera is looking sideways at his face, so you see like the little bubbles of his eyes or whatever, and then the tendrils like the spikes come out and like meet the eye, and it looks at first like it's just a human eye, but it's actually like technological in nature and the interface and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I love it. Okay, so how do you feel as you're trying to get this information from him?
Would curious be on here? I swear I saw it before somewhere.
I think it's a peaceful, but let me check. Curious is...
Sounds peaceful-ish.
Yeah, like thoughtful.
I'm fine with peaceful.
Thoughtful is under peaceful, so, and you can make it whatever you want anyway. It's just a guide, so
yeah, peaceful it is.
Sweet. Make sure you guys are adding your spikes and all that too, as a reminder. And make sure you mark that experience as well, Lauren, from before.
It is a 9.
A 9? Cool.
Oh, one more question. So I've got a spike in, not a spike, a point in mad. So if I roll peaceful, do I like swap them around? That's
You
it, once
delete
again.
that other one. So mad
Okay.
would be just gone, and you would add the one in peaceful. And then similarly, if you rolled mad, you delete one in peaceful, and then add the one
Okay.
in mad.
Sweet ass.
And let's see. So the question, like you're going into his memory banks, but what is it that you're specifically wanting the answer to? You'll get an impression.
Trying to find like why he's saying these things. Like what's spurring him to spout these creepy phrases.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so let me just double check the move here. You'll get a good impression. Yeah. So I think what you get in these like flashes of memory, I think normally you would get a like cohesive memory, like it would just be like a replay. But since it's an impression, like I think in his mental state, what happens is you get just the flashes of images, and you see from his perspective looking, you see the iconoclast, which you can now see as like a gloved hand that touched him. Before we couldn't see the hand because it was wrapped in robe, but he's looking straight at it as it's touching him. And you since it's like a memory, I'll say that you also like feel what was happening, and it feels like something is being like ripped out of him, right? Like I imagine it would be like surgery or whatever if you were awake and like you're numb, but you can feel them like removing something inside of you, something like that, right? So it's not painful for him in the sense of like physical pain, but it's painful in the fact that something is being torn from him. And then it stops, right? Because he looks over perhaps and you see yourself tackling him, right? From the memory. And then it cuts to maybe a memory of an old man talking. He's like got a couple age spots, white tufts of hair, and he's got like a really cool futuristic cloak action thing that is like perpetually propped up behind him, uh, like sort of like a Dracula-ish thing, but it's got little bits of like blue light. If you've seen the new Tron movie, it's very new Tron movie with like the way the costume looks. There's bits of light coming off of it, and you can kind of make out just little bits of words that he's saying, but essentially the guy is saying like, if anything were to be removed from you, it would become a part of them. Like your essence would be realized within them. Like it would start to override them. So uh, it ends with maybe like the guy saying like you must never make human contact and allow them to take your essence. And then it like cuts back out and you're back on the table. And so you can surmise that a part of the iconoclast blended in with Ayush. So they're sort of like, they were at least until they were tossed aside, kind of like the same being, you know? But you also don't know. Like, you, I think, as the character, would surmise that that data, that like, oh shit, that data is gone. But we as players know that Arthur has that within Rebecca now.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
So what do you do?
Uh,
Do you do something? Well, yeah. Do you do something before everybody arrives, or should we just get everybody together? Up to you.
I might just like throw some chairs around. until
Throw some
someone
shit.
explains.
Hey, come on over. We'll have group therapy. It'll be great. And Lauren, are you still there?
I am, yes.
Okay, so that's good.
My internet just got real bad.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay, so let's put everybody together. Does anyone have specific scenes that they want with other people? I would frame those up now. Yeah, I think Arthur, you haven't gone too much recently, so if you want a specific scene, let's do
I'm
that.
worried about time because we are getting like 25 minutes or less than 25 minutes to wrap things up. So I don't know
Yeah,
about you. Like, do we have time for a scene or not?
I think we have time for a scene or two.
Okay.
Is like what you're picturing particularly going to run long for an interaction that you want to have? Or?
I don't have anything in mind. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else have a specific scene that they want to have with somebody else, an interaction? Especially if it's driving at a belief, P.S.?
I mean, I certainly think I would probably want to have a scene with the with Q.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if there's
Well,
go ahead.
maybe you guys return in the same spinner or however you got there, right? Like maybe on the way back you can have this conversation.
Is Arthur with us or not with us?
However you guys want to handle getting back.
I have a motorcycle. I can get back on my own.
That's right. All right. So yeah, so I guess probably like on the way back. I mean, I think I'm excuse me. I think I'm probably going to be like I'm gonna be like looking at you and kind of like smiling and just kind of being very proud, I think. I think like I think I want to figure out whether or not like kind of are you kind of proud of what you did as well? Are you like um happy? Did you enjoy what you did, I guess? I'm trying to figure out if I should do that as a move or if that's just something that would come up in discussion.
But you could ask them in a discussion and then say, what are you really feeling? If
That's
you're
a good
probing
point.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. How are you feeling as you're interacting with Q?
Oh, I think I'm definitely on the joyful. I think. Definitely kind of like still very happy. Okay. So I will roll. Let's do roll dice. Dun 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 dun. Wow. I got a 3.
Oh no.
Have fun with
Okay.
that, sir.
But yeah, well, I'll hold it for now, and you guys have your interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like just I think it's hard for me to get it out, but I do eventually get it out. Like I'm really like proud of you. That was really beautiful what you did back there.
I think Q says, I find it fascinating, for pride is one facet of humanity, and yet I feel anything but pride right now. Range.
Huh. So you aren't proud of what you did?
I think I am still in the process of understanding exactly what happened.
Q, are you also trying to do the same thing and size up Imani during the interaction, or is it just a conversation?
Either. Yeah.
The way the dynamics of your partnership that I understand it is sort of like you are you might be a little bit hesitant as to what you're exactly going to say to Imani because you guys have different beliefs from what I remember, right? Like, or at least in the way in which you want to execute them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it would make sense that we're both kind of reading each other, and I mean, like I'm trying to figure out what you're really feeling, but I think you're probably also like we probably have a relationship
Same.
such that you want to know well both that and also like you want to like say the right thing, as it were. but maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah.
I
You could just
at least
read them and
as
be
you
like,
go.
this is what he wants to hear. Here you go.
But yeah, do you want to do a probe then?
Yeah. Probe. Did a lot of probing today.
How you feeling?
Mm, I've got choices now. Probably a bit scared. Scared.
Okay.
Wow, that's like the fourth 9. Actually, it's a 10.
Okay, because you're a +1. Cool. So during the interaction, you can spend the hold to ask whatever you want, and feel free to rephrase the questions as long as like you're getting at the heart of what they are asking.
Awesome. So I think you cocks their head to the side a little bit. And asks, saw that person, conflicted person, who was by all rights in a position of power above all of us, so fearful of the situation. What were you really feeling pride in that moment of fear?
Your mic might be being wonky. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you're
breaking
definitely
up.
a little bit on the spotty side, but I think I get the gist.
Yeah.
From what I got, it was, were you actually feeling pride when she like shot the person in the head, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
It was glowing, Q. It was glowing.
Wait,
Um,
wasn't Q the one who shot her?
Yes, Q shot her, and I was very proud of Q.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you would like me to do more of? Is this what you wish I'd do in situations where someone is suffering?
Yes. Yes, I think that is something that I would want you to do.
I'll take a note of that. Thank you for your guidance in this
Anytime.
situation.
I think you have one more question too, though, because I think you get 3 because you got 10 plus.
What about how could I get you to trust me implicitly?
I was thinking that. How could I get you to trust me implicitly?
What was that?
Oh, for I have the utmost trust in you.
And how could we get that to be the other direction as well? I think, I mean, I would need to see you I would need to see you do something similar to what I was doing. And I guess I would need you to do similar things, like similar destructive things, and I would need to feel as though you were doing that because because the destruction felt good to you.
I see. So the importance is placed upon personally, as an individual, feel in
Yes.
committing these acts of destruction.
Yes.
Snap. So maybe we're getting the shot of you guys sizing each other up in your your spinner or whatever as we cut back to like the tendrils hitting the eye and all this stuff, right? Like it keeps cutting back and forth and whatnot. And then I think now would be a good place to do beliefs probably because it'll take a few minutes for wrap up. Is that cool
Sure.
with everybody? Abril, did you have a quick scene in mind or anything like that you wanted to get done beforehand or anything or?
Nothing at the moment, no.
Okay, cool. Let's do beliefs then. Abril, we'll start with you. I'll just work left to right on what I see as the windows of you guys. So
Sweet ass.
say your beliefs and then say if you thought it was tested, got you into trouble or resolved, etc. And we'll get that sweet XP.
Right, so I'm telling you the beliefs, or
Yeah. Just repeat say each belief and say if if it was tested, if it got you into trouble, or if it was resolved, and then based on those, if any of those are in the affirmative, then you get XP.
Nice. So the first one is my augmentations make me superior to others. I'm not allowed to fail. Which
You think that got tested?
yeah, that was that was pretty tested.
And did it get you into trouble?
Actually, I suppose it did hurt Ayushe because I was pretty desperate to get him away, and now that screwed up the plan.
Yeah, you made the call on that one, so I think I would agree. And then, is that an ongoing thing that you want tested, or do you feel like it's resolved and you know the answer to that question implicitly, regardless of being tested in the future?
I feel like it should keep going for now.
Cool. Okay, so I think that's what is it? 3 XP. If a belief gets you into trouble, mark 2 XP, and if it's tested, mark 1. So that's 3 XP off that one.
Nice. And the next one is not everybody deserves to live.
Okay, do you feel like that got tested?
Maybe a little, because there's the car, which I kind of just ignored.
Yeah, like I did frame it so that you looked right and you were looking at the people that might have been getting killed by the car, and then you look left and you decided to shoot the iconoclast who was flying by already, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's up to 4 XP now. And then what's the last one?
I have not got a last one yet.
Oh, right. Okay, so 4 XPs.
Nice.
And then Lauren, you are next.
Awesome. So I was made superior to my colleagues.
And it tested. I think so. Did it get you into trouble? You were the one that saved the day in the end, right? So not really, maybe?
Yeah, not really.
Like, I think if you had just remained on that floor and other people had dealt with that situation, maybe, but instead you took the situation into, well in hand, I'd say. So 1 XP for that one.
And then Amani is a friend to be trusted and only wants the best for me.
Ooh, so what about that with that last interaction? Did that get...
I feel like I'm questioning that, but it's like I don't know. I'm having a really hard time separating how much realizes how fucked this is.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly seems like it was tested.
I think so. Like, I think it didn't get you into trouble or
resolution or anything
resolved.
like that.
But
Yeah.
So now you're at 2 XP. Do you have a third one?
And Ayushe appreciates and respects me, must be protected at all costs.
Ayushe what? Respects you?
Appreciates and respects me and must be protected at all costs.
Okay. I think that was tested at least, right?
Yeah. Or at the very least, it got me into trouble.
Yeah, for sure. So you don't think it was tested, but it got you into trouble? Because you did go for the car instead of Ayush.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it was. Yes, I think it was both tested
Okay, so you're at 5
and got
XP total.
trouble.
Total of 5.
Cool. Nice.
Okay, and Arthur.
Awesome.
The information that Ayush has is more important than him. Yes,
Yeah, I think
that was
so.
tested.
Yeah. Did it get you into
Definitely.
trouble? Maybe not yet. I think it
Uh,
might if anyone realizes that you have the other half of him, essentially.
Yeah.
But I think it was tested at least. Maybe
yeah.
next session it might get you into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
unless you feel like it's resolved.
It's not resolved yet. Maybe next session.
Sounds good. So 1 so far.
Information and technology will lead to true happiness. I mean, it wasn't really touched upon, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we really hit that yet.
And Rebecca is ultimately the only thing that matters to me. Not yet. Nothing
Not
yet.
yet?
I'm not sure. Because we haven't got into that thing yet. Maybe in a future session, once the first belief starts getting tested, because she's basically where I store that information.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that might be where that comes in.
Sounds good. Okay. And then Imani.
Let's see here. I have the beauty found in destruction without care for consequences is something I must instill in Q. Definitely think tested. I don't think it really got me into trouble per se.
Okay.
So that's 1. I prize my freedom and my arrangement with our benefactor gives me that. I must keep Ayush out of the hands of our enemies. I think that definitely got, I guess,
Definitely tested on it. 'cause
tested. Yeah. Did it
Probably
get?
even tested on the last one too, right? When you promptly acted on what was happening.
Yeah. So
Got you into trouble, you got shot.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 3. Is it resolved?
Um. I don't know. I feel like there might be more to it than that.
Yeah, I think we'll be discovering some more stuff about Ayush on the next session.
Yeah.
And that's it. So is that
Yep.
3 or 4?
I think it was 3 plus. I think you said plus 1 for last time because
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me. So yeah. So
Cool. And then
that puts me at 5 total.
take your improvements if you need to, and also same thing with the coming improvements. If you don't want to spend them yet, just mark that you have one and then spend it on the fly in the game, fiction wise too. I'm completely fine with that. And as Marie asked, you can multi-class with whomever. Onomastic wise, you can feel free to do that, and then as long as we see what that looks like in the fiction and it makes sense, you can do whatever you like. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking of taking True Name, but components is a different move that is core to the Onomastic. Wasn't sure how it worked there.
Um.
And it says roll plus component, so would I be rolling +0 all the time, or would I need?
Yeah, I think you would need to. Let me look here.
Or would I get or would the components still work as they do in the Onomastic?
So you're taking True Name?
I'm not yet because I don't have the experience. I need one more.
That's what you're going for, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you take True Name, then you can start to amass components on people as well.
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
And I think it makes sense fictionally because you've sucked up an Onomastic dude and might learn some shit.
And also I have my object pretty much be a Cybertone at that point. So
yeah, that makes sense. Which is definitely pointing interesting directions in the fiction based on him needing himself back and you being like, I'm an Onomastic now.
We are such terrible people. Everyone in this party.
Yeah, it was interesting because I was wondering how that would go. I'm like, what kind of militant group is this? Do they care about civilians or not? I definitely got the answer. So, do you guys want to do a quick Roses and Thorns, or you just want to talk on Discord or what?
I definitely want to talk on Discord. I don't know if you
You
want to do
guys-
Rosenthun's here.
I'm fine with Discord. Are you hopping off in Discord right now?
Okay, Alex?
Yeah, I might need to run away soon, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have anything you want to say right now then? And then we'll hop on Discord after? Roses or
Just that I'm
thorns?
really loving the Heelys. Healy
Yeah, me
experience is
too.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. As soon as I remember that you had Heelys, I was like, inside. Raise it.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Looking forward to next week already.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that really flew by.
That flew by really fast.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, we'll all stop the recording here then.